Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the channel. Joe Rocks. Hope that you all are doing well. It's that time of year when people are doing their lists, their top albums of the year lists. I'm gonna do my top rock albums right now. I listened to a lot of metal this year, more so than any type of rock. But I got 15 here that were my favorites this year. Everything from classic rock sounding stuff to alternative, to the heavier rock. So, some prog too. But yeah, I got 15. I'm gonna do a separate video with my metal albums. But yeah, let me kick it off here with a band called Airbag. I found out about these guys on a YouTube channel. Checked them out and liked this right away. The name of the album is The Century of the Self. This is I think it's their 4th or 5th studio album. I haven't checked out their previous stuff yet, but I certainly plan to because this was really good. Progressive modern rock. A lot of it is more like slower tempo. There's only 5 songs in here, so there are a couple of minutes that are just over 10 minutes. A couple of tracks that are just over 10 minutes. But yeah, really cool from the UK, Airbag, The Century of the Self. Another band from the UK, Return to the Earth, Stalagmite Steeple. I am familiar with their previous album, Watcher of the Skies. And this is really good too. Spacey, atmospheric, some nice guitar work that reminds you a little bit of David Gilmour. I haven't checked out their previous albums before Watcher of the Skies, but I certainly plan to check those out too. So, Return to the Earth, Stalagmite Steeple is the name of the album. John Anderson and the Band Geeks, True. This is the album you wish Yes would have made. Because for myself, I have not been a huge fan of their last couple albums. And I'm certainly glad John Anderson got to do this. He's 80 years old, he still sounds amazing. Band Geeks, famous for their covers on YouTube, particularly their Yes covers, which they do very well. They're very talented. They did tour when they first connected, and then they made this album, so hopefully they have another album in their future, and I would love to see them live. I love John Anderson, his voice is amazing. So John Anderson and the Band Geeks, True. Emerald City Council, Motion Carries. Vocalist on here is Jake Livgren, the nephew of Kerry Livgren from Kansas fame. Progressive, very cool album. I fell in love with this on my first listen. I loved every song on here. Some heavy rock guitar on here too, but this is amazing. I certainly hope these guys have another album in their future, because I really love this. Emerald City Council, Motion Carries. LA punk band X, it's their swan song, Smokin' Fiction. Some certainly old school X vibes on this, with a little bit of modern sounding, more modern sounding in a sense, but I didn't get familiar with them until the late 80s, but I love all their 80s albums. I know they broke up in the 90s and then got back together for reunions and stuff over the years, but I can't remember the one before this, because that one I have not heard, but I know they did. It was a few years ago, but I plan to check out that too, but this was really good. X, Smokin' Fiction, their final album. Sleater Kinney, Little Rope. It's just Corin Tucker and Carrie Brownstein now. Janet Weiss, drummer, is no longer with them. She left 5 years ago. I got into them in the mid-90s with their album All Hands on the Bad One. And I liked a lot of their stuff after. They had like 3 more albums after that before they broke up in 2006 or 2007. But they got back together in 2015 and released 4 more albums. This one was really good. This came out early in the year. I was pleasantly surprised by this one, because their kind of reunion albums have been good. This is a little bit more post-punk than probably what people are used to, but still very good. But now it's just the two of them, so Sleater-Kinney, Little Rope. A lot of people's album of the year, probably, or I've seen pretty high on a lot of people's rankings. The Cure, Songs of a Lost World. I've been a fan of theirs since Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me in the 80s. And I've loved a lot of their stuff. Bloodflowers probably is not a favorite of mine, but the couple that came after I thought were really good. But it's been like 16 years since they made an album, so... and they're supposed to be having another one. I don't know exactly how long, but they are not done. So hopefully they tour next year, and I'll get to see them again. So, 'cause I saw them twice before. But yeah, Songs of a Lost World, The Cure, very epic sounding. Some couple long songs, but still, it's what you expect from The Cure. Moody, atmospheric, goth, of course. But yeah, I love this one. Debut from a band, Poltergeist. I believe they're from Canada. Knocked Music. It's also goth. A little more upbeat songs than what maybe The Cure might have done with their record. But I actually heard this on a listening party on Bandcamp. I did hear they released a couple singles prior to that, and I liked the singles they released. Really, they were really good. I mean, there's certainly Cure influence, Joy Division influence, maybe a little early Cult. If anybody's familiar with the band Cauldron, some influence there also. But yeah, after the listening party, I loved it, and I ordered the CD, and I got the vinyl as well. So, Poltergeist, Knocked Music. Happiness Bastards, The Black Crowes. I haven't been into them since Amorica, sad to say. I just kind of lost interest, or I got into other types of music at the time. Although I did hear some songs off of Warpaint, which I thought were good. But I really didn't do much as far as the rest of their catalog. Rich Robinson, I'm not sure exactly how long he's been back. Maybe just for this album recently. So, but like I said, I'm not familiar with their catalog in between this and Amorica too much. But I really like this. Wanting and Waiting, when they released that, I thought, wow, it was really good. And this album was worth checking out. And I enjoyed it very much. I really liked it. Happiness Bastards, Black Crowes. Black Country Communion 5, or V. I've always been a huge fan of Glenn Hughes' vocals. I was too young to hear him in Deep Purple, so I didn't hear him until later. I know he's done stuff with Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath a few times in his career, and he's had other projects that he's been part of as well, other bands. But I really love this one, Black Country Communion. The first album I ever heard from them was Afterglow, and I checked out the rest of their stuff and other previous two albums before that, and then I followed them ever since. So this was very good. I enjoyed this quite a bit. Derek Sherinian, Jason Bonham also, and Joe Bonamassa. Amazing. This is an amazing album. I've been with this band since their debut in 1991. Pearl Jam, Dark Matter. Gotta say, their last two albums, Lightning Bolt and Gigaton, were good, but I think this is a step up from those. I love a ton of their early albums. Some of their middle albums, with the exception of the self-titled one, have been good, but for myself, not great. But I think this is a step up from some of those last few, especially. This has been a step up. Even Backspacer was good too, but I still think this is better. Got to see them on tour this summer from after this record came out. So, Pearl Jam, Dark Matter. All right. Legendary classic rock band Deep Purple equals 1. I love a ton of Deep Purple. I'm not a big fan of their first 3 albums, their early career, but after In Rock, I love pretty much everything after that. There's a couple of albums with Steve Morse that I'm not a huge fan of, but Rapture of the Deep I thought was really good. Infinite, Whoosh, Now What, I thought those albums were really good too. You know, Simon McBride, who is the guitarist now in this, without comparing him to anybody, he seems like he helps bring back some of that old 70s vibe, classic rock vibe that they had before to some songs on here, which I really liked. And I'm not saying they didn't have that before, but I heard a little more on this album for sure. And they still sound good. Ian Gillan still sounds good. You know, he obviously can't hit the high notes like he used to, but I saw them also this summer, and they were good live. They were really good live. I've seen them other times too, and I was never disappointed. So, Deep Purple equals 1. This is also a debut. I have no clue if this is a project from George Lynch, among his many projects. Cassandra's Crossing, Garden of Earthly Delights, with the vocalist Cassandra Carson, who is in another band called Parlandra. And the style of music they play is similar to this. This is a heavier rock. Man, when I first heard this, I was blown away by her vocals. So really cool vocals, and you all know you're always going to get great guitar work from George Lynch. I'm not the hugest Dokken fan. I do like some of their early stuff. And I was a fan of some Lynch Mob albums. I've heard various things from his other projects here and there, but this really caught my ear, and I really liked it a lot. So, and this came out recently, I believe, in October, or late September, early October. So, and I heard about this one only like a month ago, and I've been listening on and off ever since. So, Cassandra's Crossing, Garden of Earthly Delights. The vocals on here are amazing. Alright, 2 more to go. Smashing Pumpkins, Agori Mori May, a kind of a return to form for them, or at least a return to a heavier rock sound. I guess think Melancholy, Zeitgeist maybe also, because that had some heavy stuff on it too. But I do get those vibes, at least from those couple albums on this record. So, you know, Billy Corgan is gonna steer the ship in whatever direction he wants to. So, I gotta say, I did like Autumn, Rock Opera in 3 Acts, last year's triple album, so to speak. I did enjoy it very much, but I think I like this one a little better. That was a top album for me last year, but it's probably because of the heavier rock sound on this one. So James Iha, Jimmy Chamberlain still in the band. So, and that's a good thing. So hopefully they put out another album, you know, along these lines with the heavier rock sound. So, Smashing Pumpkins. The final album, I could probably, if I was to pick an album of the year, as far as my rock albums, it might be this one. But Jerry Cantrell, I Want Blood. Amazing, amazing album. I liked his album before this, Brighton. I love Degradation Trip. I don't know what to say about this one because it really blew me away. You know, there was a few that did, and this is definitely one of them. Love his guitar work, always have, even in Alice in Chains. And this one seems a little heavier than Brighton, but man, I've been playing this. This came out in October, and I've been playing it on and off too ever since. So I just listened to it a couple days ago again on the vinyl. I picked up the vinyl also. So Jerry Cantrell, I Want Blood. It would probably be between this, if I was to pick an album of the year, and The Cure. Probably be between those two. But I was definitely blown away by this one. So every song on here is good. I have a couple honorable mentions. I don't have them with me, but I did like the new Ace Frehley album, 10,000 Volts. It kind of grew on me when I first heard it. Maybe there was about 6 songs in there I really, really liked, but I kept giving it a chance and listening on and off, and I dig it. I dig it. So I'm a fan of his Frehley's Comet era. You know, his when he had the band in the late 80s, early 90s. Another one, Green Day, I thought was really good. Saviors. There was some good stuff, and I haven't liked any of their recent albums. I'm a fan of their 90s stuff. Warning, I thought was a good album. American Idiot, I've liked, but I don't like it too much anymore. I'm not sure why, but I thought their new one was really good. No, there's one more that I'm trying to remember. I think it was just those two. But yeah, those are my top 15 rock albums. There's still some stuff that I would like to check out. Sebastian Bach, I didn't check out. And that's only because I'm not the hugest Skid Row fan, so I was kind of leery about it. But I heard good things about it, so I plan to listen to it. A lot of people mentioned on YouTube also Jack White's new one, No Name. So I was a fan of early White Stripes. Their later album, or last 1 or 2 albums, I wasn't a huge fan of, but and then I know he's done other solo albums that I just really didn't pay attention to, but a lot of people are saying his new one is really good, so I definitely plan to check that one out. So anyway, those are my 15, and thank you for watching. I got one more video, my top 20 metal albums, and I'll be getting that one up soon, so see you in the next video. Take care.